Coltrane might be coming back for the next Gears of War. So this could mean a couple things. It could mean that maybe he has a bigger, role in the story, unlike in the previous games. It can mean also we might see some recurring cast from the older games as well. Maybe characters that may have died. Who knows at this point? But Coltrane, popular in some regard. Some people love him. Some people hate him. Whatnot. What do you guys think overall about Coltrane? At least in the next game that's going to be in this series.
I think they should move away from the characters. I think they should move away from all of them, honestly. I hadn't finished the last one, so I'm not exactly sure of what state the other characters are left in. But they need to just get some original people in there and draw some new fans in and get like a new fan base for new people. That's just my opinion.
Last one, do you mean like you haven't played Judgment, or do you mean you haven't finished 3?
3. I didn't
okay,
play Judgment.
Okay, so you checked out Judgment, but you haven't finished 3.
Right, but I didn't finish either one of them. I wouldn't really count Judgment, honestly. My bad, but.
Oh yeah, no, something I can run with that. That's pretty good.
Word, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But let me ask you guys this: do you think like someone like Coltrane is worth bringing back at this point, or is he worth revisiting? Did he really contribute enough in the last couple of games? Or just in all the games for the most part of the Gears of War franchise to warrant coming back again as a recurring character? Is he that popular?
I mean, not only was he the token black guy, but he was also like comic relief. So he's not like a major character to bring back into the series. And like Charles said, I think they need an all new cast because based on how 3 ended. I mean, I didn't play Judgment. I don't even know what it's about. But based on how 3 ended, it kind of seems like it's better to go in a new direction with new characters.
I don't know. When I think Augustus Cole, I think about that line from Gears of War Judgment. Coltrane takes what he wants, and that's what stands out to me.
You know something? When I think about Cole, I think of that rap at the end of the first game. Like that's the only real thing that like really resonated or like still was memorable from me. From that franchise about that character anyway. It was just silly, so silly and outlandish.
Look at all that.
All the characters, like none of the characters, like that's my point with Gears. Gears isn't a game like that where you're supposed to. It's not like Halo where you're supposed to try to resonate and really respect the characters like that. The characters don't really have much depth to them. The deepest character in Gears is Baird.
I don't know.
That's pretty much it. All the other characters are extremely
much deeper than Marcus. You think so?
Yes, they did that on purpose because they never even delve into Marcus's real background and why he is that way. You have to read the comics to figure that out. They did that on purpose. Like Epic has come out and said that. So it's like.
Oh, sorry.
No, what were you saying? My fault.
I was just no. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, so to me, like honestly, do I care if Cole? I mean, Cole and Baird were my 2 favorite characters. They're the only 2 characters in Gears I like. The rest of them, they could die and I wouldn't care. Like that's why when Dom died in 3, I didn't care. It was supposed to be this really big, sad moment, and I didn't care because I'm like, he didn't. It's like, well, he didn't really contribute anything. His story was sad already, but it wasn't really sad because of him. It was more sad because of his wife. If you get what I'm saying. So like when you saw once you figured out the fate of his wife, I didn't care what happened to Dom. It was like you're pointless to the story, and you already knew he was gonna die when you figured out his wife was dead, and now he doesn't care to live anymore. I'm like, gee, I wonder which of the Gears is gonna die next. Like it was either him or Cole because Cole's black. It was one of those 2, and they went with the guy who wasn't black but is like half Hispanic, so they kind of still played up to the stereotype. I don't know, but like me personally, if Cole being there, I mean, it's not making me want to play Gears more. But I mean, I don't see it as a bad thing. They're gonna have to come up with new characters. So.
But wait a second. Haven't you heard? This is why Cole is coming back for the next Gears of War, so he could be one of the first people that they killed. That they could say, "Oh yeah, we didn't forget. We make sure we gonna follow the script."
I got a question. All right, so if he does come back, do y'all want them to try to develop him more or continue to be comic relief?
Is he worth visiting like that? Is what the real question is.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. Like, do we know that Gears 4 is going? Cause I mean, they can't go forward from 3. It has to be a prequel, especially if Cole's there.
There's always a more ancient threat out there. It could probably still be a sequel.
Oh, it's a bigger fish.
Maybe they could also explore a little more of E-Day, because technically, even in all the games, they haven't really kind of gone to like the point of like what was going down during E-Day.
But that's my point. If they do E-Day, that would be a prequel. In fact, it'd be a prequel that's 25 years in the past, so they can't use these characters. They can't go. So they couldn't do a E-Day game with Cole in it, like to my
Gears of War
knowledge.
2 makes the cardinal sin of opening up all these plot holes that are never addressed again. When they go down to see the Locust City, they're like, this almost seems like it's older than the Locust. And there's the things in the mountain, the half-human, half-locust that we never see again. It's I think they could take it forward. I think they could do a sequel. I don't know. If I can be honest, I kind of like Cole. I think Cole's arc in 3 as a hero, a hero in his own mind, kind of as an icon that lost his audience. I thought that was really touching. I love that segment where he gets to play Thrashball again, because that's a man trying to relive his dreams, and I'm able to connect with Cole in that moment. I don't really care though for Baird. I've got enough smart asses in entertainment as it is. I was never really a big fan. But
Well, I mean, it's like with these characters, like me, I actually like read the graphic novels for Gears because they're actually really good, which is why I'm always confused why they never, like I was confused before why they didn't infuse more of those elements into the game. It's like you have all this story here, and there's actually other Gears that you don't see in the game that are really cool characters. Like, why not show that? But then they basically said, well, we made this game to be like cheap fun. Like, we didn't really want to go that deep into it. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm like, to me, like, I can understand why a lot of people think Cole Baird is just like some smartass, but like when you find out, and actually, this is the one thing, the one saving grace of Judgment for me, when you find out why Baird lost his position, like, and you find out how like he's basically smarter than everyone. So it's a frustrating position when you're smarter than everyone around you, and you're telling them how to fight this battle or what strategies to use, but because like you're in the military where it's like, no, I have experience or I have rank, so you're gonna do what I say, and if not, I will de-rank you even further. It's like it's frustrating to him. That's why when he meets Marcus and they promote Marcus over him, he's like, why are you promoting this guy? I was a higher rank than him before the war, like before all this started, and I meet a guy who just got out of prison, and you promote him over me? Like, that makes no sense.
Anybody would be pissed off at that point.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But they don't explain a lot of that. They just kind of hint at it, and it's like, oh, if you want more, go read the book. It's like, but most people who play Gears don't read, so they're not going to get this stuff. Like, they're really missing out. I don't know.
Fans are going to get that.
I think that brings up a bigger point, though, and I think you kind of hit a bigger spectrum, and I think a big problem with game expanded fiction or the expanded universe with a lot of these game franchises is kind of like unlike movies where the material is supportive in nature. You know, like you watch Star Wars, you want to know what happened between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, you either read or you play Shadows of the Empire. Versus a lot of the Gears of War stuff, and I've noticed a lot of the Halo stuff, you're really lost if you haven't read the books.
Same thing also Mass Effect. Mass Effect's the same thing. Mass Effect's got a lot more substance to it, though.
I think Mass Effect handled it, like, I read the first Mass Effect book, and then I played the game, and I think it handled itself well in the sense that you knew there was beef between Anderson and Saren, but you really kind of got the book to support that material. It was supplemental in nature, versus I played Halo 4, I don't know what the hell's going on.
Right.
There's all these references. But Gears of War, they definitely introduce a lot of significant characters outside of the games, which I'm not sure that's the best way to do it, personally.
Dude, I agree. I honestly do. I mean, at least, try to give us a good basis, or at least if you're going to introduce characters or have characters that are significant to the overarching universe like that, they should at least have it, like, put to the front for us, in the games to actually see everything. And then they want to get into a little bit much more backstory that kind of just supports or adds more to everything. Then go into, like, the game, like other games, or again, like short movies or books and stuff like that. Short stories. It feels like a better way to handle stuff like that.